It's October 3rd.
It's October 3rd.
And I'm hosting an event in my studio in exactly 1 week. But this is what it looks like right now. Hi, if this is your first time seeing me, my name is Bennett. I own technically two small businesses. The first is Loose Ends, and I make crochet bags and patterns. And the second is a little more recent. It is LOOSENDS Yarn, and I sell the yarn that I use to make my bags to you guys, fellow crocheters and knitters, along with crochet hooks and patterns so you can make your own bags. I started LOOSENDS Yarn back in June and it went very, very well. We actually sold out our first drop in like less than 2 days. And now here we are 4 months later with a restock finally. It took a while to get all of the inventory here, but at last we have 8,000 balls of yarn ready to be packaged and sent off to you guys all over the world. And with this restock, I wanted everything to be bigger and better and more professional. So this time we are hosting our own event called Yarn Soiree. Here's the poster right here. And it's happening in 1 week's time, so we have a lot of work to do. Okay, wait, pause very quickly. I'm jumping in here to let you guys know that our Black Friday sale is happening this weekend on loosendscrochet.com. Starting this Friday, November 28th, all the way through Sunday, you can get 20% off all Loose Ends yarn. And if that's not enough, I'm also offering 40% off of all of our patterns right now. This is my first time doing a Black Friday sale for Loose Ends yarn, and I just want to say thank you for everything. And once again, that's 20% off all Loose Ends yarn and 40% off all of Loose Ends patterns. I'll leave the link to shop in the description. Okay, back to the video. I've been posting consistently on social media for the past like year and a half or so. So I've been able to build some sort of crochet community, and honestly, it's from people all over the world, which is insane. However, I did want to throw an event for my Montreal community in particular, which is why we're doing this yarn soiree. So essentially the restock goes live on October 14th. So I've started a to-do list of all the things that we have to do for the yarn soiree. To start, we have to label all this yarn. There's over like 350 colors, which is crazy. Actually, in reality, when you add in our new metallic yarn, actually let me show you that. This is our new metallic yarn. It comes in 12 different colors, and I'm so excited about it. Some of my favorites, this is Scarlet, Slime, I think this one's Bubblegum, but yeah, so many great colors. I'm very excited about this. So including these guys and a couple extra colors that we found throughout, there's probably closer to 370 colors. I'm gonna have to eventually upload all of these onto my website, loosendscrochet.com, which is where you can shop all of this yarn. But it's been exciting to grow the offerings that we have on the website, because originally with my first drop, it was just solid colors. I think we had like 50 or 60, and now, like I said, we've grown to over 350. So LOOSENDS Yarn is amping up really quickly, but that's top of the to-do list, is to label everything. Everything you see here in this studio needs to get a LOOSENDS Yarn label on it before it goes out. Next up, we have to name all of our yarn. When we're doing inventory, I just have like general descriptors like gray, salt and pepper, black, bubblegum pink, like very basic names for everything. So I'm gonna have to go in and rename everything to the official like released public name. We definitely have a lot of things to do on the to-do list, but arguably one of the most important is to finish our photo shoot. And we're doing that right now. Welcome to my photo studio, which normally looks totally different. This isn't usually here. This is not permanent, but it worked perfectly for the space, and I'm happy that we could all keep it in-house. If you missed my last video, you should go check that out because I documented the whole process of setting this up and going through. We're actually already at 175 colors photographed, and now we're starting again. We have so many more colors to do. So without further ado, let's get started. For the photo shoot, I found that what works best and keeps it the most straightforward is to photograph each color 3 times. So you have one shot just straight on like this, and then you have a second shot with an unlabeled ball of yarn, exact same way. And then the third shot, we put it on its side so you can really see the detail of the pattern. You might not realize it, but it actually does make a difference to see the yarn in this way, in these different angles, because you never know what the texture is gonna be like, or the quality, or the thickness of the material. So I wanna make sure that people can fully see like all parts of the yarn both ways, if that makes sense. If you don't know anything about t-shirt yarn, basically this yarn comes from textile waste. So when garments are being made, all of that scrap fabric actually gets saved and sent to the manufacturer that I use. They're based in Turkey. And then it gets turned into this beautiful t-shirt yarn right here. Okay, it is a little bit later. I ended up photographing almost 100 colors. That's good enough for me, honestly, and I just hit a wall, so I need to do something else. I'm gonna edit some content or something. I think the most rewarding part of doing all of this is the fact that I can choose what I want to work on. There's so much to do at times. When I don't want to do something, I can just switch to something else. But the state of the studio is nonetheless chaotic, so we're just gonna ignore that for now. Okay guys, I just put my posters up on the front door and they look so good. Like, that's always my favorite part. I also put one on the fridge, because why not? I love the color palette that I went with. She's right behind me, isn't she? It's Monday. It is the week of our yarn soiree, our first ever in-studio, live, in-person yarn event, and the stress is setting in. I don't know if you can tell, but it is. Thankfully though, I am taking good care of myself. I have a good work-life balance. I have some employees to help me out. My friends are coming in this week. The ultimate goal through all of this is, of course, make money and make sales. But other than that, is to stay healthy, stay sane, and avoid burnout. Do you hear me? Future Bennett, do you hear me? And the reason I say that is because with my first yarn drop, I was all in. I was working here 12 hours a day, every single day, no weekends, no social time, no breaks, nothing. It was mainly because I was excited, but also I just had no one to help me, and I gave myself way too much work to do for one person. So this time around, with so much more yarn, I knew I needed one very simple word: delegation. So yes, it's gonna be a very, very, very busy week here at the studio. Currently it's Monday morning and I'm here by myself for a little bit. I have a friend coming in at 1, so I have a couple hours just to kind of decompress, plan out my week, get some editing done, some admin work. Truly, there is so much to do and I am stressed about it. However, I think, again, just having that balance and having these systems in place for myself to ensure that I don't get burnt out are really, truly helping. So I highly recommend. On the to-do list for today, I'd really love to finish our photo shoot. It might be a little bit ambitious. Side note, this is so random, but it's currently October 6th, and in Montreal today we're having a high of 27 degrees Celsius for those Americans out there. That is like July weather. What are we doing? I don't know, anyways. On Friday of last week, I finished photographing up to color 254, I believe. So we have about 120 colors left to go. If I'm really focused and I have someone helping me, I can do 100 colors in a day. So what's another 20? It's nothing crazy. But I really need that extra person to help, because without it, it's me going to grab each color, taking the skeins out, photographing them, and putting them back. And that just takes so much longer. In terms of our yarn event though, I am very excited. I announced the event officially on socials this past Saturday, and I've been getting some really good responses. On TikTok, it kind of went viral-ish, but it has a bunch of saves, a bunch of favorites, which I usually use to track if people are coming or talking about it, and it seems like people are really interested. There's even a Montreal crochet knit club, and they reached out to me and said that they would be coming and sharing it with their network, so I feel like it might be a big deal. I don't know. I mean, the whole reason that I started Loose Ends Yarn in the first place was because t-shirt yarn, which is what I use for all of my bags, is kind of hard to find. Like, you can get it in America, but shipping is crazy. You can get it from Europe, but same thing. And there's really not like a main vendor who has a lot of it here in Canada. I feel like I can wedge my way in there. Hello guys, it is much, much later. My friend came and went. We ended up photographing, I think, like 100 and... actually maybe just less than 100 colors. So we only have like 10 or 15 colors left, which is amazing. I'm so happy to be done with the photo shoot. I'm definitely spending some longer days at the studio this week, so it's currently 6 o'clock on the dot, actually. And I am crocheting a bag in our new Scarlet metallic t-shirt yarn. I love this and how it looks so much. So I am making a big one of this. I did make a handbag version, and I posted on Instagram as well, so you can check it out over there. But I thought that it was really important before we officially launch that I let people know how many skeins of the metallic yarn it takes. They're a lot smaller than the regular t-shirt yarn. These go for like 600 to 800 grams each, whereas these ones are only 125. So it definitely takes a few more skeins, and I want to make sure people are fully prepared by the time we launch so that they know how many to get. I'm really trying to think of everything that needs to be done for the event on Friday because it's fast approaching and I just don't want to forget anything. So today when my friend was here, I had her stamping bags. I have like white paper bags, and then I just use a stamp that I got from Vistaprint, I believe. Once the photo shoot's done tomorrow, I will definitely have a lot more clarity with the event, because right now I'm just very tainted by all of that. So like, I'll be able to take down our little photo studio, put back the lounge area, I'll be able to start labeling all the other yarn and get that organized. Tomorrow is Tuesday, and I believe I have one employee coming in, so that'll definitely be useful. Good morning guys, we're getting an early start today. I just uploaded a new reel. Hosting a yarn pop-up in Montreal. With our first ever to promote the yarn soiree this Friday, because marketing is important. I will say it, I will preach it till the cows come home. Typically posting on social media is the first thing I do in a day, because I just feel like it's good to get started early and have people see your stuff early. That's when people are online, checking their phones in the morning, maybe on their way to work, stuff like that. So I like to have something posted before noon, usually. Okay, it is much later. Both staff just left for the day, so it's just me now. It's like 5:15, I believe. So it's getting to the end of my workday, but I'm gonna stick around a little bit longer to do some labeling of the metallic yarn, because that's like very mindless, very easy, and a good way to end my day, honestly. But I wanted to update you because it's been a good day, productive, fun, honestly very fun. I'm very grateful to have like cool staff that I can relate to and just like chat with. But we've started to fully label the yarns and put them back on the shelves. So now at this point, we have a whole filing system. If you could see our spreadsheet, we have a column for the name, the quantity, if it's been photographed, if it's been labeled. Today we added a whole other diagram for which shelf it's on. So for example, this is shelf number 1, and then on each shelf we have 4 rows. So each row is A, B, C, D. So for example, number 224, which is this guy right here, in the spreadsheet, it'll say that this is on shelf 1, on row B, and then that way when it comes time to pack orders or for the sale this Friday, we'll be able to look up on our spreadsheet exactly where it is, grab it for the customer, and then bam. Hopefully that works. I don't know. It's kind of a trial, but I feel good. I think it'll be okay. But things are definitely starting to make sense for all of this sale, and yeah, I don't know. It's going well. Of course, it's still a lot, and I am definitely stressed, but I think things are making sense, which is kind of the turning point. When things don't make sense, that's when I'm scared. That's when I really freak out. But we're not there yet. It might be coming real soon though. And now we're gonna do some labeling together because this is just so therapeutic, and honestly after all of the work I was doing today, I was craving some mundane, mindless work like this. The goal for the market this Friday is to have this shelf fully cleared off so that all of the metallic yarn can stick to this shelf. We only have 12 colors and there's 25 squares to put them in, so we'll have plenty of space to showcase what we need to for the market. But with that being said, the only problem, of course, is the amount of storage because it's slim. It's slim. However, now that the photo shoot is done, we're gonna put back the lounge area probably tomorrow. I just wanted to keep it up today in case, I don't know, I was missing a picture or anything like that. And lo and behold, actually, I did miss one. So I got my yarn, obviously. I got my tape, and then I got my scissors because we actually had a miscalculation on my part. Obviously I had to order the labels before the yarn actually arrived. The labels are slightly too long. If you fold it right there, it covers the end of the Loose Ends Yarn logo. So we basically just have to take our scissors here, trim off like, I don't know, an inch. Line it up like so. Get our tape. And then we just tape it up, like that. And there's my little yarnie. So I'm gonna do a lot of labeling. I have about half a box left. I think maybe there's 100 per box. So we're gonna speed through this. I'm gonna put on a YouTube video and get cracking. This is taking a while, so let's speed this up. 1, 2, 3. We did it. Okay, I'm going home now. See you tomorrow. To name all of these colors, all 364 of them. As I've been talking about throughout this vlog, we have a big master spreadsheet for all of our stock. So basically, as of now, each color does technically have a name, but it's more for inventory purposes. So for example, the first color I have is called Blue Salt and Pepper because it looks like a blue salt and pepper. So I'm gonna go in now and rename every color and give it something a little more fun or cute or cool. We have our gigantic swatch guide here, which is double-sided. Looks like an art piece. I'm going to use this to help me find the color and think of names as we go. And honestly, we have so many freaking colors and so many things to name that I think it's just like first thought, best thought, go with my instincts to get through this as quickly as possible. I'm also eating my breakfast while I do this. I just have some overnight oats, my coffee, and of course some water, because I gotta stay hydrated. I'm a couple rows deep into the patterns now, and a lot of these can be really hard to name because you're kind of just like thinking of an essence, honestly. Like, there's so many plaid colors. I've done kilt, I've done plaid, I've done PJs. I don't know, there's only so many names for plaid. Right now I am on 201, which is this brown and white striped pattern. And I'm just trying to think of, like, in life, what is brown and white striped, and that's when I kind of get stuck with certain ones. I'm gonna call it Carnival, because it kind of almost gives red, but it's not. 203, I believe, is a leopard print, this one here, so I'm gonna call it Snow Leopard.
You could do like a online competition to name name the color.
I know with the last one I asked like the email campaign, so they named a couple of them. There's just so many that my brain is like, holy.
Yeah.
Trying to reference things but also not be too niche.
Yeah.
Whoa. 364 colors later, everything is officially named on our spreadsheet, and I feel crazy. These names, I don't know, they're something. I am going through it right now. Oh my god. So basically through all of this, as you probably know by now, we're figuring out the processes as we go. I'm still new to this. This is my first big restock. I've never had this much quantity all at once, and I'm a little bit in over my head. Basically, we're trying to figure out a system to label the yarn and put it back on the shelves. And what's mainly stressing me out is the fact that for our event, I was hoping that people would be able to walk through the aisles and see what's on every shelf, like at the front. So let's say I put like 6 colors per shelf, then there would be like each 6 on display. So essentially we've been trying to label as we go, and then once all of that color is labeled, we'll put it back on the shelf together, and then we'll write it into our spreadsheet. On each shelf, it says which numbers are there. So there's so many numbers in here. It's really confusing to look at, and I'm freaking out a little bit. It doesn't really make sense to only label like a little bit of each color, which is what my staff were telling me initially and what I was thinking initially. It was like, oh, we'll just label a few, put them on the shelf, and then, yeah, like have the rest unlabeled. But then in terms of the long run, we would just have to go back anyway and label them later. And I realized that a little too late, because now the shelves kind of have too many colors, because now I'm going in and trying to find all of the same color. So like, let's say there's 30 skeins of this color here. I'm trying to find all 30 in the studio and then label them and then put them back together. But because we kind of jam-packed the shelves with so many colors on each shelf, it's just, there's not enough room for all of the stock. It's currently 5:30 and everyone left for the day. And tomorrow I don't have anyone coming in, so I'm basically all alone until the event on Friday. Look at what the hallway looks like, and even worse, our floor. Right. I'm stressed and I'm really freaking worried for the event on Friday. I feel like usually these vlogs are so thought out and I know exactly how it's gonna go, and I'm comparing myself to others, and I just keep thinking like, oh my god, I don't want to fail. But there's so much to do and I don't know how it's gonna get done in like 2 days. I am gonna call it quits. It's 7 o'clock, so I'm proud of myself, setting the boundary, and I'll stress about this probably in my sleep, and then tomorrow. So I'll see you guys then. I literally just got to the studio. It's like 9:30 right now. I got myself a coffee because I knew it's gonna be a crazy day. And as you can see by the fit, we chose to be comfy today because I have so much to do. I have so much moving of yarn, so much labeling. I will say I am very happy that I chose to leave at 7 last night, because now I feel rejuvenated today. And although I will be stressed at some point today, probably for most of it, at this moment, currently, I am not stressed. Because it's all gonna get done. Also, another big reason that I'm not stressed is because I decided to change the format of the sale that's happening tomorrow. Originally, I really wanted the customers to be able to actually physically walk through the aisles and shop and browse and touch and feel every color. I just don't think it's gonna work out. That would mean that basically everything has to be labeled and everything has to be really, really organized, which it's not. Okay, so you're currently set up right at the front of my studio, and basically this is the POV you'll have when you'll enter. So I have this extra desk that I don't use, and I had the great idea of making it a yarn cafe. Hear me out, okay? Basically, this table is gonna be right here, and it'll kind of be like a kiosk. So customers will walk in, they'll walk up to the kiosk, form a line out the door, and then one by one, I'll have staff, maybe 1 or 2 people, each doing orders at their own time. And then I will have a sheet, possibly my swatch guide, laid out on the table, and then customers can point to colors that they want. And then from there, I will have these staff write down those numbers, give them to another staff member, and that person will go into the yarn hallway, get which colors they want, pull them, bring them to the table, and then the customer can feel it out if they want to get it, if it's the right fit, if they want to see a different color. And then once they've finally decided on colors, they can choose their quantity, and then our staff back here, if all the yarn isn't labeled already, they'll label it back on the workshop table, bring it up to the table in a nice little bag, hand it to the customer, payment done, customer happy, leave the studio, boom. How do we feel? With this new system set up, I know there are some qualms. I mean, when I'm yarn shopping, I do want to be able to kind of see all of my options and feel everything. So I know that that's gonna be a little bit of a letdown for some people. However, I just don't think the system of shopping through the aisles, walking all around the studio is gonna work well. I wish I had more staff. I also need more room to like spread out more shelves. I have to keep reminding myself that this is all a trial. This is all stuff that I'm doing for the first time. You know, yes, I did have a first yarn drop. That was like 1/10 of the size of this one. And I've never had staff before. I've never thrown a yarn dedicated event. So there's lots of firsts. And I just need to like give myself some grace. And like, yeah, when I'm at a small business owner's event, I'm not gonna be a difficult person. And so I'm so lucky that people are so understanding. And if this event doesn't go smoothly, people might be mad. But at the end of the day, it's like, what can I do now? It's literally tomorrow. I don't have much time left. So this is the system I'm going with. I'm gonna commit to it. And we'll see how it goes. Okay, well, we got a lot of work ahead of us, so I'm gonna get going. And I'll check in with you guys very soon. Progress update, it is much later. It's 6:30, so the workday should be done, but I am gonna have a long night here because there's still so much to do. That's okay though, I feel energized, I feel happy, I'm no longer stressed, but there is still a lot to do. But as you can see behind me, we have quite a lot of progress here. So this is my retail display for all of my loose ends bags and laptop sleeves. So this normally doesn't really change at all, but I was thinking for tomorrow, and I'm still undecided if I should change this to just have yarn on it. Like, it'll be a good way to showcase a bunch of colors for customers. But I'm undecided. I'm gonna contemplate that a little bit. Maybe leave a comment and let me know which one you would do, because on one hand, I could leave it like this, and it's good because a lot of customers are wanting to get the yarn to make my patterns. However, I just don't know otherwise how I'm gonna display all of the yarn for customers. This part is actually really exciting for me, and I'm kind of surprised by it. I didn't really expect it to be so exciting. I mean, of course, running this whole event is inherently exciting, but the reason I say that in specific is because I feel like I'm looking back on my part-time jobs that I used to work, and I've always been curious about like how these little systems came to be. Like, why do we put the label there? Or why is this done this way? Like, these little things that you kind of just don't usually think about. I've always been curious about those things, and I feel like this is the stage for my business where all these things are starting to form, and it's just so exciting. Like, for example, currently I'm writing little name tags for each color of the metallic yarn, because I figured tomorrow when it gets busy, hopefully. And my staff are pulling colors. For the metallic yarn, they don't have numbers, they only have names because there's only 12 of them, so you don't really need numbers. And I just feel like having another set of numbers might be a little confusing. So they just have the names, and I want to make sure each staff knows exactly which color they're supposed to pull. I don't know, it's just really exciting, these moments of like, it honestly just stems from like finding a solution to a small problem, and it's a lot of foreseeing, I think, like predicting problems that might happen and trying to avoid them. And sometimes a lot of these things aren't really necessary and you don't ever run into the problem, but it is really fun to brainstorm these smaller ways that things could go wrong, like small problems, and just find little solutions to them. It's officially event day, and I'm starting off the day by making our yarn catalog online. I'm using Canva, and I'm uploading each and every color that we have onto a little catalog so that customers can look at this for the event tonight. I'm also going to use this probably for social media because I've had a lot of questions from people asking if they'll be able to see all the colors prior to the launch. I didn't do this for the first one because I only had like 50, 60 colors, so I feel like people could kind of figure out what I had, but now that there's so many colors, I really want people to be able to know what they want. I can't believe the day is here. It's gonna be a long one. It's 11 o'clock right now, and I'm probably not gonna leave the studio till like 10 or 10:30 tonight, so yikes. 2 hours later, and I just finished the yarn catalog. If you want to see that, it's up on our Instagram at LOOSENDS Yarn. Next up, I want to set up our display table, and this is the table that you'll see when you walk in and kind of order from. I did a little mock-up last night of like the metallic yarn, my stickers, and our crochet hooks, but I still want to put some t-shirt yarn, and I think I decided ultimately that I do want to clear off at least one shelf and put some maybe pattern yarn on there and some of the more exciting popular colors. So let's get started on that. So I made these little printouts, which I'll humbly say I think is a very good idea, and they basically just say how many skeins of yarn you need for each of my patterns. So for example, the desk bag, you need 2 skeins of regular t-shirt yarn or 5 skeins of the new metallic yarn. And I'm gonna put these up around the studio along with these QR codes that I already put up. These actually link to the yarn catalog that I was making, so people can just scan this and have it on their phones. I printed out just a couple copies here. I'm feeling good, I'm feeling very prepared. Staff are about to start coming, it's almost 3 o'clock, and then we're gonna get the show on the road. Salut! Hi. Hey, you're picking up the bag, okay, amazing. So they're 600 to 800 grams, typically. Here, there's like all the info on that. Like one of the metallic red ones there, if I were to do it with these, it's like 2 skeins with maybe like, I don't know, a bit left over.
Yes, please.
So this one, some of them are like a woven fabric, so this one is a bit heavier.
Oh, I like that.
You're all Oh, thanks. Welcome. We have a QR code with like all the colors, and then there's the physical version too. So 97.73.
Alright.
A receipt for you as well. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you as well.
Keep in touch.
So much, definitely. You will hear from me.
Okay, cool. I'll look forward to it. Take care. And just like that, the yarn soiree has come to an end. That was so crazy, oh my god. So as soon as doors opened, we had a very small line, but super quickly people started showing up and there was a line out the door. And we basically were busy nonstop for about the first hour and a half, 2 hours. In total, I think I had 36, 37, 38 sales, I believe. And they were pretty substantial. People were getting anywhere from like 2 skeins all the way to like 25 skeins, so it was crazy. I will say our system really worked, and I'm really, really proud of myself and proud of everyone that was helping me. We honestly had the perfect amount of people. There was 5 of us, and it was just so good. We definitely had a couple hiccups to work through, but it just came together so quickly, and yeah, like I said, I'm so, so happy. Honestly, it couldn't have gone better. This was like such a dream event and such a cute way to see my community and say thank you before the yarn goes fully public to the rest of the world. I'm so happy. I'm proud of myself. Anyways, the studio is definitely in a bit of shambles right now. We gotta get all this sorted out. We gotta get this table put back. We still have lots of labeling to do and tons of yarn on the ground back there, if you can see. Next steps for LOOSENDS Yarn is early access this coming Monday. So I have the weekend to fully prep, get the website ready. And then Tuesday, we officially go live. And at the time you're watching this, it's already live and maybe some colors are sold out. Maybe a lot of colors, and maybe not, and that's okay too. But if you're curious, it'll be up on the website, loosendscrochet.com, or you can just check the description, because it'll be first link there. Okay, I'll stop rambling, but I'm going to leave you with one question. I want to know how long you've been crocheting for, and if the answer is never, that's okay too. But just leave a comment and let me know, because I'm always curious about that kind of stuff. Anyways, I will see you guys in the next vlog, and until then, bye-bye.